brinksmanship moment there, or are those sorts of crises going to end?
Well, let me make it clear: there will be no government shutdowns and no default on the national debt.
Another thing that you said right after you got reelected, I guess when you came back in January, was I think you said we're not going to be having any government shutdowns. You repeated that yesterday because we're kind of back in the same boat.
Yeah, we're not doing government shutdowns, and we're not threatening to default on the national debt.
And so there has been a debate in no vote. There has been a debate and a vote around here on Planned Parenthood, and members of your own party, many of whom have challenged you in your integrity, are using their platforms very loudly to say the only way that bill should go forward is with a defund of Planned Parenthood. Yeah. That's a rider. Do you think it's advisable in September?
You may have heard me say this before, but one of my favorite old Kentucky sayings is there's no education in the second kick of a mule. We've been down this path before. This is a tactic that's been tried going back to the 90s. Frequently by Republican majorities that always have the same ending, that the focus is on the fact that the government is shut down, not on what the underlying issue that is being protested is. I've been very disturbed about the way the president has proceeded in the wake of the election, whether it was his intervention on net neutrality, his apparent decision to move ahead on immigration with executive orders, the rather ridiculous agreement with the Chinese under which they basically have to do nothing for the next 16 years while we're losing jobs in this country as a result of EPA's overregulation. I had maybe naively hoped the president would look at the results of the election and decide to come to this political center and do some business with us. I still hope he does at some point, but the early signs are not good. Let me tell you who did get the message, and that was Senate Democrats. I think they got the message on the Keystone Pipeline, and I think that's why you've seen the current Democratic majority in the Senate have an epiphany and decide to allow a vote they've been blocking for literally years.
If the president goes ahead with this executive order, so many Republicans are saying this spending bill should be tied up on this.
Yeah, we'll not be shutting the government down, threatening to default on the national debt.
Even if he goes forward on immigration?
Will not be shutting the government down or threatening to default on the national debt. No more government shutdowns and threats to default on the national debt. We need to quit kind of rattling the economy with things that are perceived by the voters as disturbing.